Hello, and welcome to Episode 2 of Walk the Cinema podcast, where we walk the cinema so we can talk the cinema. So, what movie did we watch this week?
So for this week, we have Thomas Wittenberg, Another Round, a Danish movie I was very, very excited to watch with you.
Why were you excited?
I think it's a great movie. Let's just get that out of that way. I think it's great. The director has worked with Mads Mikkelsen before in The Hunt, which is another great movie. And Mads Mikkelsen is one of the great actors of our time.
Hmm.
So only good things could come of this, and they absolutely did.
Okay, well, why don't you give us a synopsis?
Well, it's very, very straightforward. It's four friends. They're all high school teachers, and they want to test a theory that maintaining a certain level of alcohol in your blood will improve your life. And we follow their journey trying to test this theory. It's basically essentially a buddy film at its heart.
Hmm. It's a regular old Stand By Me. Well, I guess like some of the things that immediately stuck out to me was at the beginning where it talks about the lake race.
Yes, they show
Um,
you the lake race right at the beginning.
yeah, I was kind of wondering if that was a real thing and like what the drinking culture of Denmark is, because there was another line in the film a little later on where Mads Mikkelsen's character Martin, his wife is like talking to him about like she
Hmm.
knew he was drinking and stuff, and um,
Everyone
how
in the country drinks a lot.
yeah. So I was wondering, like, is the drinking culture in Denmark
Yeah, there's
more
definitely a
prevalent?
lot of commentary on the drinking culture in Denmark that we're neither of us, I don't think, is qualified to talk about because we don't really know Danish culture that in depth. But it's also a commentary on drinking in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. But um okay, so another thing that I thought was interesting, or at least this movie kind of reminded me a little bit about Alfred Hitchcock's Rope.
How so?
And I'll explain. So they initially started their drinking um hypothesis based on this professor's
Mm,
theory that all men should have a certain level of alcohol within their system.
hmm
And in my mind, it kind of is like Rope in the sense that this professor says something and his students take it too far or too literally. So I think that the same thing kind of happens in this movie where the professor never intends for every man to be drunk complete like
mm.
all the time, but these group of friends, or this group of friends, does take it to that point, and they kind of also realize that even though it's been hypothesized and kind of, I don't know, not really proven, but an interesting concept to say the least, that it's still not, no one's intended to be drunk all the time, you know?
I see the comparison you made to rope.
Okay, good.
Uh,
I thought I was going off on a
no,
tangent
no,
for a
I
second.
understood it, but yes, I don't think anyone's intended to be drunk all the time. It's not a good thing. I think we can all agree on that.
For sure.
So, okay, let's talk about the movie itself, like what happens in it. I think early on they establish that just because they're teachers, it doesn't mean that they don't have a life outside of the classroom and problems outside of the classroom.
Right.
And that's something that we often seem to forget about teachers, that they are regular humans like us.
Yeah, I think that it's, at least interesting to see. kind of a different side of adults, I guess, because when you're young and you're a teenager, you kind of are off in your own little world. You don't really think about the people that teach you as having lives of their own or suffering their own consequences and stuff.
Those teenagers in the movie, they were more worried about their grades in the history class that Martin teaches. They were more worried about that than they were about why his attitude seemed to change and he seemed to lack any type of motivation.
Yeah.
So this lack of motivation that all four friends seem to have is what drives them to try this theory with alcohol. And I think
Yeah.
that shows us like they're not bad people. They're not coming from a bad place, but they're taking a bad decision. They're looking for a solution in the wrong place.
Yeah, I think that's valid to
But
say.
but it also shows a positive side to alcohol, which we're not used to seeing. Shows that a moderate intake does make them more relaxed, and in the movie in specific, it makes them better teachers. Where Mads even makes the joke and convinces everyone that it makes sense to vote for Hitler because he's an animal lover that doesn't drink.
Yeah. Well, I think that from what I got out of it was that it's not necessarily the alcohol that is making them these better people or better teachers, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they're finally able to let go of what is holding them back, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like, especially at the end of the movie, which I do want to hear your thoughts about it, because I'm not sure if I got what I was supposed to get out of the end of the film, because at the end of the film, it's after the funeral of their friend Tommy,
Yes.
and
The
after,
sports teacher.
yeah, after he killed himself. And he was the one that was really, uh, he had been suffering from alcoholism. I thought that at the end, they're kind of in a better spirit and they're not drinking to feel alive. They're alive and then they also start drinking, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Like they're feeling like, yeah, their friend just died, but they're feeling more alive than they were at the beginning of the movie. And
Yes.
it's not due to the alcohol, it's due to just them feeling better about life in general, I would think.
Tony's death culminates with the ending of the experiment,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like the director wants you to feel bad or judging the characters. They don't. It doesn't want you to encourage it either. Just follow their demise. And not forget this is a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about like a massive tragedy. It is a comedy movie, and it uses
Mm-hmm.
the comedy to help the viewers not pity that they're alcoholics that can't control themselves, but recognize that they're doing the wrong thing or they're getting the wrong solution for their problems. And
I
that's
mean,
why Tony dies because he gets the wrong solution. So his happiness doesn't come from the alcohol, and that's why he commits suicide.
right. So, like, what do you think the ending, like, what do you think about the ending where they start
Honestly,
drinking and
I
partying
just think
again?
the ending is iconic and the dancing is thrilling. And
No, it's like it's a fun
I
scene.
I I will die and take with me to the grave the memories of them dancing to "It's a Wonderful Life" or "What a Life, What a Night, What a Beautiful Ride."
Hmm.
And the movie itself is a beautiful ride, very cathartic.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess my opinion or my question is what what do you think of the ending? Like what do you think the I guess, the big picture meaning of them starting to drink again with their students, or former students.
I generally don't know what to get from that. I don't know if there's anything to get from that. I'm sure there is, but I'm not the smartest cookie.
You're pretty smart, so I would say that's a
It's
lie.
it's thought provoking. We're fresh off watching it, so
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing that kind of left me at the end was I'm not sure how I'm supposed to
absolutely.
feel about at the end because on one hand, you kind of see that, especially with Martin's character, if we just take a look at his relationship with his wife as an example. At the beginning of the movie, they had kind of drifted apart, where she was kind of working night shifts and they never saw each other. They didn't really talk to each other. And that was before the alcohol. And then the alcohol made him, I guess, brave enough to start talking to her again or start trying to put himself out there with his wife more often. So the relationship kind of grew from that. But then also the alcohol made him lose his relationship with his wife. And then after he got clean from the alcohol is when she texted him that she thinks that they could kind of
Hmm.
be together again.
I
And then
think
immediately after that, he starts drinking again. So I'm kind
yeah.
of,
I think the issue there is not the alcohol itself, but the addiction. Because at the beginning
mm,
he is taking the alcohol, but he's not addicted to it yet. It's when
mm,
the addiction becomes bigger than the problem that you're trying to fix. That's when more problems occur.
I gotcha.
Let's
Um,
not forget the unsung hero we haven't mentioned yet, Specs.
Specs.
Specs,
What a,
it's just, we all saw the goal that Specs scored. Imagine if you gave him a little bit of vodka, what he could
oh my
do with
God.
that ball.
That's no good.
It might be
That
no good,
probably,
but just a little bit, you know, 0.05%, it could kill it.
oh my goodness. I don't know about all that, but I thought that the, that goal that he gets is amazing. And I just thought that that part probably made me the most sad about the movie is seeing Specs at, Tommy's funeral.
Specs seemed to
Cause,
act as a kind of a surrogate son
yeah,
to the character of
Tommy.
Tommy, sorry, excuse me.
No, but I thought that, yeah, I thought that too. But then I was trying to remember which one of the friends said that they wish that they had kids. I wasn't sure if it was Tommy or the music teacher. I can't remember the
Mm,
character's name. Peter, I think.
mm.
I can't remember which one had mentioned they wanted kids, but yeah, poor little Specs.
But at the end of the day, he became the hero. So
Yeah,
go
he won the
Specs.
game for them.
The
I thought
Definitely my favorite
I
character in the film.
hmm I did think that the overall like dynamic between the group was kind of interesting
No,
to watch. I
that's
don't
it's definitely the friend group that you want when you're middle aged, minus the rampant alcoholism.
right, yeah, because I was thinking like we've seen movies like Stand By Me where that you have like the group of boys that are friends, but that's in their adolescence. Where I don't know if I've ever watched a movie quite like this one where we see middle-aged male friendships that are outside of like talking about how hot girls are, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It's a
at the
very
beginning,
philosophical relationship they have. They're true
yeah.
friends, and you sense the true friendship.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking how at the beginning kind of when they're celebrating one of their birthdays, um how Martin was kind of confessing about how his life has gone and he like starts tearing up and now is like he's not afraid to tear up with these group of friends, which I thought was kind of nice to see in a film, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really fun film. We're talking about all these deaths and alcohol. It's a very fun film. There's a lot of comedies. There's the scene where they're so drunk they can't find fresh codfish, so they decide to go to the arbor and try to fish for some.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of funny that like how you go from that, like it's kind of, oh, we're fun drunks, like we're doing wacky things while we're drunk.
Well,
And then
isn't
almost immediately that's kind of after that they kind of all go downhill from there.
that's the reality of addiction and dependency. While
Yeah.
you are on the drug, because this is some people see it as a legal drug, alcohol. While you're on it, you feel the happiness, but once you're sobering up, it can become very dangerous. The solution
Yeah.
is also not staying drunk, so it poses a lot of questions about alcoholism. And I don't think it answers any, really,
No.
but I don't think
I don't
it
think it
set out to
does.
answer them. It just shows you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. And I don't know if it exactly like has a call to action to, change anything about how people view drinking, I guess.
Hmm.
But maybe it does. I don't know. I didn't really get that from it
No,
though.
I didn't either. I don't think it's trying to be a anti-drinking movie.
I don't think it is either. Or otherwise, I feel like it would feel a little bit more preachy than it
No, it's
is.
definitely not preachy at all.
No.
It's a very fun movie at the end that does have real dramatic emotions as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would
Yeah.
recommend that everyone listening would watch this.
Yeah, no, it's a good film. I
And I'm
think that
definitely expecting it to win Best Foreign Picture at the Oscars.
would you put money on it?
Potentially, I could put money on it. We'll see. We'll see after the nominations come through.
Oh yeah, it did make the short list, so I guess we'll see.
I don't see a world where it doesn't. But okay, those are our thoughts. So,
Yeah.
you want to jump to the ratings?
Okay, well, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Hmm.
Mostly because I think it's really good. Um, I really enjoyed it. I thought that it it has a good overall feeling, and I think that it gives a kind of a perspective that I've never seen before in a movie.
Absolutely.
Um, but it's just one away from being a 10, mostly because I can't picture myself watching this a ton over and over again, or like thinking back fondly
I
of
could
it,
watch
I
it a
guess.
ton, just wait an hour and a half for him to start dancing. I think it'd be worth it for me. I gave it a perfect 10 out of 10, which I know it's episode 2 and I'm already giving 10s, but it's quite rare for me.
Yeah, it is quite rare for you.
So, absolutely adored the film. And there you have it. Those are our thoughts. Follow our
Um,
social media, which is our letterbox and our Twitter at Walk the Cinema. And if you go to our letterbox, there's a link tree to all the links that you could ever need for our accounts, including our private accounts in case you like one of us better. And have a beautiful, beautiful ride. Thank you so much.